It's now time for What's Up Asheville, sponsored by the City of Asheville, with the host, Mr. Sam Parada, and here he is.
Hello Asheville, welcome to What's Up Asheville here on WRES 100.7 FM. I'm your host Sam Parada, and today we have Jessica Hughes, my co-worker, communication specialist for the city. She's been a guest here before. How are you, Jessica?
I'm good. How are you, Sam?
Doing good, thank you. And a very special guest from the county, Cassandra Lohmeyer. Correct?
Cassie.
Cassie. Oh my God, Cassie. Just met her. And she is the recycling coordinator for the county. How are you today?
I'm well. Good to be here. Thanks.
Great. And so today is going to be the third episode in segments we've been doing for lean recovery. And today's topic is debris. So let's just talk a little bit about what exactly is debris and its effect on the city. Whoever wants to take lead on that.
So I can speak a little bit about what debris is. It is basically any material that was affected or deposited due to the natural disaster that our area experienced. So whether this is vegetative debris, limbs, tree trunks, branches, leaves, or it could be anything to construction debris, flooded material in your home. All of that is encompassed in the umbrella of debris.
So basically anything that is on the streets now that shouldn't be there, that is not counted as trash, I'd say.
Right. And has been clearly affected, or clearly deposited by the storm.
And debris is dangerous for many reasons. One of them, it could be, fire hazard. It could be, gets in the way. Someone gets hit by a tree branch or something, and now your vehicle is, totaled or whatever. So there is a high need to get debris out of the streets.
Correct. It could be a public health issue. It's an environmental issue. It's a safety issue.
Take your pick. So what is the county and the city doing to, get rid of this debris? Because we are working. So Jessica, why don't you tell me a little bit about the city's efforts in removing debris?
Yeah, so a lot, the city and the county are working really in a coordinated effort to get Buncombe County cleaned up. So even though we have different contracts, we have the same contractors, and we're all working really closely together just to make sure that we can get our county and our city back to the way that it was. Right now, our contractors have been focused on right-of-way debris removal. So if any property owners can, all the debris, whether that be vegetative or construction material, whatever that may be, if they can move it to the right-of-way. We have our contractors, which we contracted with the United States Army Corps of Engineers, and they contracted with Ashbrit, who's going around and picking up all the right-of-way. So they've been working on this for quite a while now. Right now, they're about 95% complete within the city for the first pass. So that just means that they've went around to all the different areas at least one time. And so they are going to continue doing that. Just because they're almost complete with the first pass doesn't mean that it stops. They're going to keep going and keep collecting until all the debris is gone. So if people still have debris that they need to put out, you can still do that, and they're going to collect it. How our contractors works in the city, we're using our snow removal debris zones.
I was just going to ask you if someone has debris and they don't know, it's still sitting out there.
Yeah.
And, just be patient.
Yes.
And if you have questions, please go on.
Yeah. So our contractors are working in our snow removal zones. And so every day our website is updated with where those trucks are going to be and how many trucks are going to be in each zone. And they'll continue being in every zone until all of the debris is picked up. And the the community can always find that on our website. If you just go to ashevillennc.gov and then click on storm debris management, it's posted every day. So.
And you can see the update section is the one that has the daily update on what zones will be collected. There's a very nice map that's color coded with each zone, and you can see how many trucks will be collecting in your area. As far as when exactly your home will be collected, it's really hard to tell. We just have to give them time to get through all the places they need to. Does the county follow a similar process for the overall, collecting efforts they're making?
The county and the city each receive a daily report with kind of the same data that you just listed. The county is also, unincorporated county is divided into zones, which we have certain amounts of trucks. We are also over 75% complete with first pass. So if you are able to, and you live in unincorporated Buncombe County, please get your debris out to the right of way. So that's kind of within 10 to 20 feet of the roadway that public infrastructure can travel on, or public utilities can travel on. And we have about the same amount of trucks in the unincorporated county as you all do in the city.
So it's still going to take time, but you'll be doing a second pass after the first one is done?
Yes, we will be doing multiple passes.
That's great. Well, hopefully, this takes time, but hopefully as the trucks keep picking up the debris, things will come back to normal sooner rather than later, and you'll start noticing that impact being done. Now, we're talking about right-of-way debris collection. There's different types of debris and debris collection. So why don't you tell me a little bit more about that, or what we can expect in the future?
Yeah, so there's different buckets of storm debris that we have throughout the city and the county. So there's, right-of-way debris removal, which they're collecting, which is, what community members are putting out in the right-of-way. There's also waterways. We have a lot of debris in our waterways. There's also private property. So if it's not in the right-of-way, and maybe it's, a huge tree stump that you can't move yourself, or maybe there's just, piles of debris on your property that you can't move and get to the right-of-way. So there's a program that the county is leading the charge for that. And then we also have titled property as well. So there's different categories of the debris, and they all have their own process.
Tell me more about this private property debris removal, please.
Sure. So as Jessica said, a private property debris removal, or PPDR, is debris in which, property owners may not be able to move to the right-of-way for collection. So the contractors will have to access their, go onto their private property and collect the debris. Now, they can't just march on to private property, so they need a signed right of entry form from the property owner. So we have contracted with a disaster contractor at Tetra Tech to kind of manage the data collection and application process for this debris bucket. And so that looks like having 4 intake centers around the county to where people can come in person and apply for the PPDR program. And they also have mobile canvassing units in high impact areas such as Black Mountain. They are going door to door in high impact areas like Swannanoa and Barnardsville. They're really trying through multiple avenues to reach as many folks as possible to sign up for this program. This program is free. It's for, any debris storm related on your property. We are really encouraging folks to sign up. So far, we already have about 1,500 applications.
Wow.
Which, our goal is about 4,000. So we're getting up there. And we have 205 ready for inspection, and we've already completed about 140 inspections.
I was going to ask if it's like happening at the same time as right-of-way collections.
Yes, it is. And the PPDR program did take, a little bit longer to set up and design, just because, as Jessica mentioned, every debris bucket is just so different and unique and has its own distinct process and method to implement. But this is happening at the same time as right-of-way debris removal.
And if I can just add too, just to make sure that it's clarified, the private property debris removal is free.
Yes.
So they
yes.
do not, community members are not charged for it at all.
So you mentioned there's 4 locations where people can go and apply. Do you know them off the top of your mind, or do you know where people can find them, like maybe on the county website or?
Yes, it is on the county website. I don't think I can remember them off of the top of my head.
That's fine. But hey, just go to the county's website, and if you don't mind backing me up on this, it's at buncombecounty.org.
It is
buncombecounty.org. The county and the city are like siblings. We like get along, but we don't know much about each other. So yeah, go on buncombecounty.org, find where the debris, PPDR, private property debris, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So we have intake centers at the Asheville Mall, at Fairview Library, at the Swannanoa Fire Rescue, the Bee Tree substation, and then the Barnardsville fire station. And a mobile unit has just been established at the Black Mountain Library as well. And as a reminder, this program is for residents that live in unincorporated Buncombe County, the city of Asheville, and Black Mountain. If you live in one of the other municipalities, Woodfin, Weaverville, Montreat, Biltmore Forest, your municipality has their own PPTR program.
Right. And an example of this would be like a tree that fell on your house and still sitting there because you're unable to, cut it down and remove it. Would that fall into this category?
It would.
Okay. Well, there's a huge one in my neighborhood, and I don't have no idea how they're gonna get it, off their house. But I guess
you should refer them to the program.
I will refer them to this program. Thank you. And so, how long will the applications be open? Is there a deadline of sorts, or is just ongoing?
Right now, I think it's ongoing. We are going to, do some reassessing early in 2025. I believe the Tetra Tech's task order, it goes through the end of January. So, there would be that option to extend, or, based on the number of applications we receive, that will kind of guide our decision making.
Great, thank you for that answer. And thank you both of you I know debris is complicated and you don't have all the answers, and I know very little about it, and I'm trying to just get some questions out that the public might have, and this is a great segue for me to mention our engagement hub. If you have any questions yourself as a member of the public, go to our engagement hub. It's Asheville Recovers. You can find it on our website, ashevilleNC.gov. There's an engagement hub tab, and it'll take you to a page in public input where you can submit questions related to recovery. And this encompasses housing, debris, water, economic recovery, infrastructure, and just help me, there's a last one. It's in there. Yeah. So you can submit questions. We will be answering them to the best of our capacities. And if you see a question that you have the answer to, you can comment on other people. So
And that's for the engagement hub is for city residents.
For city residents, yes, I'm sorry.
For unincorporated county, we do have a One Buncombe hotline, 828-250-6100, and you can select option 2 for debris.
Perfect. And so that's just for, that hotline is, tell me more about that.
That is just for, storm-related questions and assistance. Folks will guide you in the direction of, the resources that you need. But option 2 is specifically for debris-related questions. You can report debris, and that will get, that information will get sent to our debris contractor.
Thank you for that. So we talked a little bit about what is eligible for PPDR, but what is not eligible. I know that you cannot just simply call and say, hey, pick this up. Like there are some places that's just not the case. Right, Jessica?
Yes. So, so debris that's on land that's primarily used for agricultural reasons is not eligible, and then also debris that's on vacant lots or uniused, unimproved areas.
Unmaintained property.
That's
so
a
if you
better
have
word.
a forest in you have a forest in the back of your property that's unmaintained, and there are some fallen trees there, that would not be eligible for debris removal.
So get a friend with a chainsaw. And
Call Team Rubicon.
who are they?
They are one of the many organizations that came in and volunteered their time and efforts in the early days, and I think that they're still around. They assisted with the firewood effort that occurred within the county to take a bunch of trees from the Arboretum and split them into firewood for communities in need.
Well, I mean, if something came out of Helene is the community coming together and helping each other, which I do appreciate. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about what happens to this debris. Like, what is the process? Because it doesn't just get picked up magically and then disappears. So walk me through it.
Sure. So we have 5 temporary debris staging sites around the county that are permitted through the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. And these are used by our contractors to stage the debris so it can be sorted on site before it is trucked out of the county to its final location. We are utilizing various landfills regionally to ultimately dispose of this material. We are not utilizing our county landfill for storm related debris. And this also serves as a reminder, if you're listening and you are a resident of Buncombe County or the city of Asheville, if you are cleaning up your property of debris, please deposit it on the right-of-way for free debris collection instead of bringing it to the landfill for disposal. I know it might be really tempting to bring it to the landfill, just out of sight, out of mind. You want, everything to be cleaned up, but you will end up paying fees for the debris disposal, and our landfill will fill up at a greater speed because of all of the excess debris that we are receiving. So we really prefer if you leave it on the right of way.
Yes, please, and thank you. Also, it's free. It takes time, but you just have to leave it out there, and that hurts. It's an eyesore. I get it. You should see my house right now. We're doing renovations because of the storm, and we're only having the living room and our bedroom be the living space. Everything else is just cluttered. So yeah, just leave it on the right of way and keep an eye on the map that Jessica talked about for the debris collection if you're within the city of Asheville, and just pray that the truck comes to your house soon. So these temporary debris sites, they are not just dumping debris 24/7 and just having it be collected, right? There's because that's one of the concerns the community had, is it's just gonna grow, become completely out of control, and it's just gonna be an eyesore for a long time.
No, there are several haul-out trucks that are hauling debris from the temporary debris staging sites to ultimate disposal at these regional landfills daily. And part of the agreement, part of the contract of these sites is the acknowledgement that the contractor will return the sites to its prior state, or, its state prior to use as a temporary debris staging site. So while we recognize the concern of the community, this is, temporary, and it's for the greater good of the community. Mm-hmm. And we're confident that, once the debris is collected and ultimately disposed of, that the contractors will return it to its natural state.
It's for more glory. And the city also has designated temporary debris sites that are different than the counties, or they are the same.
The city has one designated one or two. The county has 3, but we are sharing those because we have the same debris contractor. So while the city submitted paperwork for 1 or 2 sites, and the county submitted paperwork for sites, we are sharing those.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that to choose these locations, it wasn't just this place is a little empty, let's use it. Like, it had to be a process of making sure that it meets environmental regulations, and that it's not just it's farther away from residential places. Do you have more information on that?
Yes, it was a painstaking process in the early days to identify and apply for these temporary debris staging sites. It is extremely difficult to find open land that is flat, that is not in a floodplain, and that was not affected significantly by this natural disaster. I don't think that people realize just how difficult that is around here. And so we were working off of an extremely limited list of potential sites. So we are really thankful that we have these 5 and that they are working right now.
And not only difficult to find the locations, but also, you had a timeline that you needed to meet, because it's a very high priority for the city and the county to have no debris in the streets. So thank you to both of you and everyone involved in the process of finding these locations. Thank you. So the debris goes to these sites and it's turned into dust, basically.
It is sorted.
Broken down.
It's sorted. The vegetative debris is currently being mulched, and that mulch is being transported out, and then the construction demolition is being being hauled out as well.
Mm-hmm. And there's how about I know that there was and I don't know if we do it anymore, sorry if this is controversial, but house debris, please help me here. It's hazardous house debris. Was that a term?
Household hazardous waste.
Yes.
Yes, we do have some of that. It's a pretty insignificant amount.
Okay.
But we are still asking folks to put that out as a separate pile on the right of way. And we also have white goods that we have been receiving a lot of those. So your fridges, your general house appliances, and those are being recycled with a local recycler. So. And
just like the right of way, just place them out in a separate pile and it'll be collected.
Yes.
Yeah. For placing your debris by the curb, it just goes a lot quicker if you go ahead and separate it out. So if you separate it from debris to construction material, household waste, and white goods. Is there a different category too that I'm missing?
Electronics is another one, and then mud and soil is another one as well.
Yeah.
So
to your best of your ability, if you can sort it when you put it by the curb, it'll just make the collection process go that much faster.
So in other words, help us help you.
Yeah.
Yes. And I guess a final question is about, and this is something that we've seen a lot of community members be just they bring it up a lot. It's the impacts to the environment and the people that live closest to this debris sites. Tell me, they're worried about the impact to their health and stuff like that. So what processes are the debris sites taking to ensure that there's no environmental and health impacts on the community?
Well, first of all, the permit is through the North Carolina Department of Environmental Quality. So these sites have already had to adhere to environmental standards and controls set by the state. Mm-hmm. And that includes, the Air Quality Agency. So, in terms of potential health impacts, that is being monitored, that is being monitored, activity is being monitored, and operations have to adhere to certain compliance and regulations. So, to ease or assuage people's concerns about that.
Yes, so, well, thank you. I think that's it for, this kind of debris-related questions at the sites. I just want to give a big shout out to both of you, to your teams. We're here for the long haul, no pun intended. And it's going to take time. And, again, if you have questions, do you mind repeating the hotline for the county? And in the meantime, for city-related questions, for anything recovery-related, please go to our engagement hub. You can find that in our website, ashevillec.gov. Click on the Engagement Hub tab, and it'll take you there. Submit your questions. I answer some of them. Jessica here answers a lot of them because people have a lot of questions about debris. And for the county?
For the county, you can call the One Buncombe hotline, which is 828-250-6100. And you can select option 2 for debris. We also have a debris page that is updated frequently on our website, buncombecounty.org. And then there is a Helene-related debris button right on the homepage.
Right. And on the city side, I know this whole back and forth, on our ashevillec.gov page, you have the debris site that is updated pretty much daily, except on the weekends.
Yeah, except on weekends and, when city offices are closing, but debris collection is happening 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's ongoing, but you may not see an update on the weekends. You'll just see on Monday through Friday.
And on our website, you can also find relief assistance pages and other pages related to recovery and Helene situations. So, for any questions, please check us out and try to find all the avenues to help yourself as we recover. It's going to take a while, but we're here for you. And thank you both of you for coming today. Do you have any last words that you want to say before we end the episode?
I would just like to thank everyone for your patience. We are working extremely hard to get this debris collected in all of its forms, and we just really appreciate your patience, your understanding, and your kindness towards municipal workers or debris collectors, drivers, whoever is involved in this, monumental effort. We just really appreciate your support.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we'll see you next time with another episode of What's Up Asheville here on WRAS 100.7 FM. Take care of one another, Asheville.
You've been listening to What's Up Asheville, sponsored by the City of Asheville in collaboration with WRS 100.7 FM. This program will re-air every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30. Thank you for listening.